This video will go over wiring up your floor plan. So you notice when I hover over any of these items, these arrows show up, and these arrows are to indicate what direction you want an arrow to come out. So if you remember from the wiring diagrams, I could click and drag wires to different spots and drop them. That's not how it is in these floor plans. Mainly because these floor plans could get very large, and clicking and dragging you might be going off the screen too much. So to make it easier, what you do is you hover over one, so I can click the arrow here, and notice when I click the arrow on one of them, all the rest of them show their arrows for where you want to end the wire run. So in this case I want to go to the electrical closet up here, and you see that's it. The wire run is in place. So I'll add another one down here, and we'll finish that one off. And we'll have this one come out the top, also going to the wiring closet. So you see, it's just that easy to get these wired up. Now you see these wires aren't exactly going where we want them to go. They're kind of cutting through stairwells, so we need to rearrange these a little bit. There's a couple ways to rearrange wires. You can click on a wire, and when I click on it, you see the wire itself has these little letters on the ends. You can see a little letter A down here, and on the other end is a letter B. So that correlates down here to where you see the letter A, minus and plus, B, minus and plus. So if I wanted to bump where the letter A is, I want to bump it out a little bit from where the wire lands, I can hit the plus, and that bumps it out a little bit. Now you see there's this one spot where it's cutting over. The wire itself wants to cut over exactly halfway in between by default. Well, we don't want it to be halfway in between. We want to move it over, and that's where this mid button is. So we can move the middle of this wire up a little bit, and now it's more in a hallway. So that's one way to move wires. Sometimes though the wire, you can't manipulate it fully using these buttons. So what you can do is click the wire, and on the right hand side is wire menu, and we can split the wire. So this is where we can split it, and now the wire has this drag point right in the middle where I can just drag the wire wherever I want. So here I'll drag it up to be close to where that other wire is. We're going to move, and I'm going to split it again because I want it to cut over a little bit. So we'll split this wire again, and this time it's going to go along the side here. The problem is the system is actually on this side of the door, and we'll move that access point over here a little bit. So one of the issues is this wire goes towards the dining room, but then it just cuts right over to the door. It doesn't do this 90-degree bend. So what we need to do is straighten the wire. So by adding that split right here, I can now click the wire that I want to straighten out, and under wire menu is straighten, and that makes it just a straight line from one point to the other. Clicking the word flowchart turns it back into kind of like a flowchart wire where it doesn't cut straight, it goes up and to the right, or follows that X and Y kind of axis. Now you saw here under wire menu there's also remove wire, so this is where I can delete the wire. When you remove a wire, it deletes the wire and it deletes all the other ones with the handle all the way back to where the other end connected. So we'll run that one again here. Get it back up here. I'll split the wire again. And we'll split this one to give it another drag point. Okay, so we'll leave it like that. So one thing you can do also is change the color of the wire. So when I clicked on it, just like the wiring diagram, I can change the color of it, give it a different color, give it a red. Parts can also be connected, so I can have this part go to the closet as well, and I can have this part then connect to this part. And I can have all the parts reconnect, so I can have it go out of this one down to the bottom here. So all the parts can be connected as well, however you want them to be connected.